But I think with respect to the Senate's rules and whether you agree with a particular policy, when it comes to legislation, you can have whatever rules they set for themselves. 50 votes, 60 votes, 100 votes, whatever it is, and as long as they debate amongst themselves and set their own rules. When it comes to judicial confirmations, I have a real problem with filibuster. Now, I say that not because I particularly want to see President Obama's nominees to get through or former President Bush's nominees to get through. I think there's a real problem is that it eats away to the core of the Senate and the decorum that the Senate is and should be known for, because it poisons the well. What I mean by that is that this aggrievement back and forth. But there's some practical reasons that will prevent a real solution unless the solution is effective sometime with the next president. I had recommended a particular rule change with the next president when President Bush was in power. I said, whoever is the 44th, we don't know who that's going to be. And I recommend us to think about, actually probably not us, but those folks who matter, who hold certificates of election, to really debate and think about the effect on what's supposed to be a nonpartisan, equal branch of government in the judiciary. And when you impose a 60-vote requirement on judges, a particular former Senate Majority Leader or Senate Minority Leader at that time said there cannot be amount of time in the universe imaginable for me to debate this particular nominee. Well, that's not a real interest in debating the qualifications of a particular nominee. That's a filibuster. And that's when a nominee has more than a majority and bipartisan support. I think the framers of the Constitution, there's 5 areas in the Constitution: impeachment, expulsion of a member, ratification of a treaty, overriding a veto, and amending the Constitution that required supermajority votes. They debated the confirmation of judges quite a bit. They went with a simple majority. And I think there was a reason for that. And for the Senate, by its own rules, to do otherwise for judicial and executive branch nominees, I think raises issues about the imbalance in the branches. And that's where there's a real constitutional issue. But I think the practical solution is to come up with a lower threshold for confirmations, starting with a future president, regardless of what the party is.